Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Well, it's October the 8th, and this is Cutler, and we're here on the Let's Talk to Cutler platform. We're here in the Let's Talk to Cutler platform. It's so good to see you all here, October the 8th. And I want you to think about forgiveness, motives, intentions, difficult decisions. It's so good to see all of you all. We're going to talk about that this evening: forgiveness, motives, intentions, and difficult decisions. I hope everybody is doing fine. I hope you're buckled in because for the next 1800 seconds, you all know how it goes. We are here together. I'm with you in your living room, your dining room, your family room, in your car if you're driving carefully. If you're watching, pull over. In your kitchen, wherever you allow me to be this evening, I'm here with you, and we have some deep conversations we're going to have tonight. But as you're coming in the room, I want you to do me a favor. Go ahead and do a thumbs up. Go ahead and like this conversation. Let me take a look in the chat and see who's already here, who our LTTC VIPs are for this evening. It looks like it's Jackie, Hattie, and Roselia. Wow. But you all always, you're here though, because I do see Charlene, Lady, Cornelia. I see all of you all. It's good to have you all here. And again, go ahead and share this conversation. Tell somebody else that we're here on the Let's Talk to Cutler program, and we're really working and walking this thing out, and we have something to really say this evening. All right, and of course, as you all know, we are basing our conversation on my latest book, Billboards to Better: 366 Sources of Motivation and Inspiration Along the Highway of Life. It can be found at gbcutler.com or go on over to amazon.com and pick it up. You all know how we do it here. On these Thursdays, we look at our sayings, our quotes from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Of course, then Saturday, the quote is all day your way. Use it for a conversation started. Use it for a part of your meditation. But however you use it, just use it. Make sure that you read it, all right? So it's good to see everybody here. It's good to see everybody. We are going to jump into the conversation because I want to make sure that our time is well spent, that our time is worthwhile. You all, I really want to share and be transparent and share some things with you this evening, okay? But let's go ahead and turn back and look at our book and our quote for October the 7th. Again, it's good to see everybody. Make sure that you go ahead and share the conversation. If you're here and you haven't done so, make sure that you subscribe. And if you have subscribed, make sure that you click on the bell so whenever I'm on, you get a notification to let you know that I'm online. All right? And again, go ahead, let's do a thumbs up. I see several of you in the room and some of you just watching on the sidelines, but wherever you are, hey, just participate in this conversation. Let's go ahead and get started, you all. Let's get started. Looking at October 7th, let's turn our attention to the quote. It says, friends who fumble by mistake might get resuscitated, but those who foul on purpose might get euthanized. I'll go back and explain it. But it goes on to say, it's easier to forgive people if they hurt you by mistake or if they had good intentions. However, purposefully contaminating a relationship creates a huge gulf that human forgiveness does not always span. So here we're talking about looking at the intentions and the motives behind why people do what they do or did what they did. Friends who fumble or make mistakes, who hurt you by mistake, they might get resuscitated. You might revive that relationship, but those who foul on purpose might get euthanized. You all know euthanasia is self dying, self-murder. In other words, if somebody hurts you by mistake, then you may be a little more inclined to just let them go ahead and let that relationship die. And I'm telling you all this. Let me share this with you. Let me share this with you. And I told you I'm going to be transparent this evening, as I've always tried to be, because I'm only with you for 1800 seconds and I need to make our time worthwhile. And I want to make it genuine and organic. So when you build something, you protect it. Whenever you invest in something, you safeguard it. And whenever you have earned, acquired, or achieved something, you treasure it. And I'm not necessarily talking about things, physical things that crumble and fall apart and fade away. But I'm talking tonight, you all, about things like your self appreciation, your self worth, your self love, your self esteem, and even your peace of mind. These are things that you sometimes build, sometimes things that you invest in, and sometimes things that you have to learn how to treasure. because I want you to know this, even if it's your family unity, your value system, or even your faith, these are things that you have earned, things that you have invested in, things that you sometimes take the time to build. I'm telling you this for a reason. You don't want to make, or let me just give you my perspective. I don't make concessions and excuses for anything or anybody who comes to disrupt, dismantle, or destroy anything that I've worked very hard for. And I want you all to take that same position in life. When you've worked hard for your peace of mind, when you've worked hard to have a faith that you really stand on and believe in, when you've worked hard to maintain a family unit and a family structure that you love, when you've worked hard to develop self-esteem, self-value, and self-worth, when you've worked hard for all of that, do not make concessions or excuses for anybody who comes to disrupt, dismantle, or destroy any of that. So sometimes in life, we have to make challenging choices and difficult decisions, because the thing that comes to disrupt us, sometimes the very thing that comes to disrupt your life can be something or someone who is connected to your life. I need to say that again. Sometimes the very thing or person that comes to disrupt or destroy the thing that you have built in your life is a person or a part of something that is connected to your life. And I'm telling you this, no, absolutely no excuses, no concession. You don't get a chance to destroy what I've worked on over time. You just don't get that opportunity. And I make no concessions for you. So then what happens? We come face to face with these difficult decisions, and we are forced to evaluate and confront the enemies of our hearts and our minds and our souls. We have to confront an enemy that we can't even see. I'm talking about motives and intentions. So now when people and things and situations come to disrupt your peace of mind, your self-worth, your faith, your family, when things come to disrupt any of that, now you have to face an enemy that you can't see. And those enemies are called motives and intentions. When you came, what was your motive? When you came, what was your intention? And you have to deal with that. You have to wrestle with that. You see, if I give you a pass and you hurt me by mistake, then I might forgive you. If you hurt me by mistake, I might give you a pass. But if you hurt me on purpose, if you try to disrupt and destroy what I've built on purpose, if you insult me intentionally, if you attack me willfully, then you just gave me all of the equipment, the materials, and the supplies to create a barrier to keep you out permanently, because you don't get to come in and disrupt peace. No. You are, listen, my friends and family, brothers and sisters, do not let people come in and disrupt and dismantle and destroy the peace of mind that you have accumulated, that you have built over years. When they do so intentionally and willfully, they just handed you all of the tools that you need to construct a wall, a barrier to keep them out permanently. So I said in the beginning, we're going to talk about forgiveness. I wonder how many of you actually find it easy or difficult. I wonder if you find it difficult to forgive, or do you find it easy to forgive, or does it depend on the situation? When I look at things like this, because this is talking about tonight, we're focusing on the reality that we don't have everybody who is in our corner. Everybody in your life is not in your corner. Everybody in your life is not in your corner. And that is why it is okay sometimes to be self-guarded. Everybody in your life, they are not necessarily in your corner. And when they hand you the tools to build a wall to keep them out, build the wall. Build the wall. Because I'm telling you all, I'm reading your comments. I want to see if you find it difficult or easy to forgive, or if it depends. Because I'm telling you all this, when you have invested in yourself and you come to appreciate your self-worth, you become very discriminating and very discerning as to who you welcome in this place of peace and this work that it took you so long to build. Got to be careful, got to be discerning about that. And I'm not saying you just can't trust people, But I'm saying you have to love yourself enough to be very discriminating about the people that you allow to come into your life, and you just don't get them and you get out of jail free pass. No, no, no. Why? Not when you try to destroy my character, not when you try to destroy the thing that it took me a long time to build. You don't get to come back in. That's it. And do not let people manipulate your faith or your feelings as to why they should be able to, as to why they should be welcome to bring poison back into the peace house that you built, right? I'm really you all. I know there's some people who get sick and tired of hearing me say, I'm trying to save your lives, and I'm trying to help save your life tonight. I'm telling you this: do not let people manipulate your faith or your feelings as to why they should be welcomed back to bring poison and toxins into your house. It does no, you don't get a chance to do that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm telling you, when you build a peaceful habitation, and you get to a place of peace, your peace will be so important until you guard it, just like it's Fort Knox. I'm telling you, you will. And you have to reach a, did you know what happens when you reach a resolve? You have to be able to really reach a resolve as to why you do what you do. Absolutely. Yes, I'm reading the comments. When they show you who they are, believe them. When they show you who they are, believe them. I'm telling you all, hear me clearly. You have got to reach a resolve as to why you do what you do. And here is one. This one is free for you all tonight. Learn to define and to defend your why. Learn to define and to defend your why. I didn't say you had to explain it, but you don't owe anybody an explanation about your peace and about your appreciation. Learn to define your why. That means I understand why I do what I do. And once I understand why I do what I do, then I defend it. So learn to defend, to define, and then to defend your why, because you can't defend what you haven't defined. You cannot defend what you have not defined. So I'm just telling you, learn how to defend the thing that you understand that you do. So when I know why I do what I do, I don't have to give anybody an explanation. I just don't do it. And you reach that resolve. You reach that resolve. And when you reach that resolve as to why you are important, I want to help somebody tonight. When you reach that resolve as to why you are important, you will be much more careful about who you let abuse you and who you let misuse you and who you let just walk in willy-nilly into your life and do what they want to do, create havoc and run amok, and then expect you to say, oh, you're welcome anytime. Oh, no, 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 no. It doesn't go down like that. Not in this house, this place of peace that I build. And I'm trying to share that with you all tonight. I want you to get that resolve. Don't you be afraid of these hard conversations. I know these can be hard conversations because sometimes you all, the hardest conversations that you have to have are conversations with yourself. But when you have them, Lord, when you have them, I'm telling you all, you watch what is going to happen. You're going to develop this kind of internal fortitude, and you will walk in a space where you are what I call impervious to the darts. That means you're not affected by it. When you create a space of peace and you understand why you do what you do, and you can defend your purpose, your destiny, your journey, your calling, and everything that you have built and created. When you do that, you walk in the space of peace, and a space that is so important to you. You are impervious. You are guarded and protected from the darts that the enemy throws. I'm telling you all, a lot of times we have to try to look at motives and intentions, and when they show you who they are, believe them. The welcome mat, I'm reading, the welcome mat has been lifted. You all listen, based on people's motives and intentions, when they hurt you, you have the freedom to exercise whether you resuscitate or whether you euthanize. And don't let anybody try to take that authority, that power away from you. When you create a space of peace and you come to an understanding within yourself that I'm important to myself, And nothing that you say or do is going to destroy the peace that I've created, the unity that I've created, the self-worth that I've recognized, the self-value that I have on the inside of me. I'm telling you all, you are worth protecting yourself. You are worth guarding yourself. You are worth investing in yourself. And do not let any bystanders stand on the side and throw their darts. Because guess what they do? They just want to see if they infect you or affect you. But here's a word I want you all to look up after we've done with this conversation. Look up the word impervious. Impervious. It means that I'm not affected. I'm not affected by the small thinking of other people. I'm not affected by the insults that people hurl at me. I'm telling y'all, that's how you handle life. That is how you handle life. And yes, sometimes it means that you've got to look at motives and you've got to look at intentions. I'm telling you all, I only have 1,800 seconds, and I got caught up in that because I really wanted to be transparent. That truly is a lesson from my heart. It's difficult to sometimes have that hard conversation and say, I have to examine people's motives. Yes, we do. I have to examine their intentions. Absolutely, yes. Because if you don't do that, others won't do it for you. That come rasharding in your life and create all kinds of havoc, then run out. Yeah, okay. I'm reading your comments. Yes, we are all a work in place. We are all rather a work in progress. All right. So then let's go on to our quote for October the 8th. That's today. Again, if you haven't done so, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you do a thumbs up here in this conversation. That just says to YouTube, hey, I like the content that we're sharing. Let me read October the 8th to you. These are some deep conversations that we're having because they're about human relations and human relationships and how we interact with people. And sometimes it is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to make the decision that I'm going to love myself more than I allow you to hate me. Let me say that again. It is sometimes difficult to make the decision that I'm going to love myself more than you try to hate me. All right? Let's go to October the 8th. October the 8th says, hurt and frustration are sometimes the tools that God uses to scrape away the rust. But he still manages to leave you shining. He'll scrape off the rust, and it may hurt when it's coming off, but he'll still manage to leave you shining. Just as an anecdote I wrote, we don't realize that many times we are walking around as precious metal with rust deposits that cling to us as a result of being exposed to life and its elements. It becomes so easy for us to accept the rust as a part of our norm because rust clings and doesn't want to let go. It takes a strong instrument and a precise tool to discern between the rust and the metal. God has the right tools to get the job done. I'm telling you all, this one right here, you all, this is about learning to appreciate the process. Everything in the process of life is not always easy. It's not a rose bed of ease. It's not always rose petals. There are a whole lot of thorns in it. But you learn to appreciate the process. It is about the power of positive thinking, even when you're going through a negative situation. It's about the ability to see some good even in a bad situation. And this calls us to the strength of hope so that we can have an earnest expectation that everything is going to be all right. This relies on our faith. It relies on our faith. And I have to say that this kind of conversation typically comes from that place of faith. What are you saying? It comes from a place of faith in God, a faith in your goals, and a faith in your go. I want to talk about that. So when I'm talking about this tonight, the ability to appreciate the process, it comes from a place of understanding your faith in your God, your goals, and your go. It means that you have to have faith in the one who called you out of eternity and brought you here on earth. He brought us here, you all, to planet Earth because he knew that bringing you here would make things a little bit better. That's why you're here. That's why you are here. And when you understand why you are here to make things a little bit better. You begin to appreciate what we just talked about a few moments ago, your self-value. And sometimes it is not until we have gone through the journey that we appreciate our self-value. Then you understand that's why you don't get to come in and mess up what I now recognize God has put inside of me. And people will try to derail you and get you off your course, but do not let them. They'll try all kinds of tactics. I don't understand why people just will not shut up and leave you alone, but they would try all kinds of tactics, all kinds of devices, because they are miserable. They want you miserable too. But you learn how in this lesson to appreciate the process. Learn how to appreciate the process. Have faith in a God who has promised to see you through. And then not only have faith in your God, but have faith in your goals. Believe that you have a destiny, believe that you have destiny and purpose even when you can't see it. I love that. Absolutely. We all have purpose, and I want you to believe it even when you can't see it. I don't necessarily know what my purpose is, but I know that I have one. You've got to believe that God brought you here to make things better. So believe in your God, but also believe in your goal. You are here to reach a destination and a destiny and a goal. You're here. You are here. So believe in your goal. Believe that you were brought here to earn, to achieve, to succeed, to obtain, to have, to thrive, and to flourish. That's why you were brought here. Even when you can't see purpose and destiny, just know and believe that you have one. Even when you can't fully recognize what it is, believe that you have one. So not only believe in your God and your goals, but also believe in your go. Believe in your go. Believe in your ability, you all, to persevere. Believe in your ability not to quit. Your ability to navigate the hurdles of life. Because we talked about this before, there's a difference between stopping and quitting. Quitting means that I no longer have any interest in the outcome. But stopping means that I just pause temporarily to regain myself. Believe in your ability to go. Sometimes we end up stopping because of health issues, because of emotional issues, because of all kinds of issues. It is okay to stop. Stop means that I had to halt temporarily and regain myself. Don't worry about stopping, but believe in your go. Go says, even though I've stopped, I'm not quitting. I know it. I know people don't like to hear me say this, but I'm telling you, I'm trying to save your life and mine at the same time. Just because I stopped, that does not mean I quit. I believe in my go. I believe in my ability to persevere. I haven't been here all these years not to know that I can't go. So I'm telling you all, do you not know that sometimes in life we accumulate things. We pick up these things. We pick up these weights that don't even belong to us. We accumulate the dust and the dirt and the residue of life that come to bog us down. And we pick up all this stuff and we allow it to cling to us in life, stuff that is not even ours, stuff that we don't even own. But we will carry it. Absolutely, we will carry it. And we'll keep going. And then many times, I'm telling you, many times we go through, and then we don't like the processes that come to knock the weights off. And we don't like the process that come to get the residue off of us. We don't like the process because we've gotten so used to being burdened down. We've gotten so used to that. And then we despise this process that scrapes the dust and the rust off of us. I'm telling you, absolutely, I love these comments. You don't want to wake up one day and find that you don't have time to accomplish your goals. And whatever you carry, let it be yours only. I don't have time to carry your weight. I don't have time to carry your dust. I don't have time to carry your residue. What I will help carry is you, but not the weights that belong to you. I got my own. And I'm thankful for the process of life that will scrape the stuff off of me. It makes me a little uncomfortable. It scratches and sometimes abrades me. We don't like the process, but I want you all to understand how to appreciate the process. Utilize the power of positive thinking. And when you have faith in your God, you say, he's going to make it work together for my good. When you have faith in your goals, you say, I have purpose. I have a reason for being here. When you have faith in your goal, you say, you know what? I can do this. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. That means I can even withstand the attacks of the enemy. I can do it. I can do it. I'm telling you this, y'all. Do not worry about the scrapes. Don't worry about the scrapes in life, because I said this in a conversation some time ago. I said this, that God will not allow us to go through the battlefield and not take care of the scars that we get. I'm telling you, he will not. If life has taught me anything, any number of things, that's one thing that life has taught me. God will not allow me to go through the battlefield and then not take care of my scars. He's not that kind of God. Absolutely not. And even when you go, I'm telling you, in life, you all, there are a lot of potholes and a lot of unanticipated roadblocks. There are a lot of detours. There are flat tires. There are breakdowns. There's all this kind of stuff. And we find ourselves sometimes going through the fire and the storms and the floods. But I promise you, even though we go through the fires and the storms and the flood, the promise of God over our lives is that he will bring us out to a wealthy place. And by wealth, I don't necessarily mean finances, but I mean wealth and peace, wealth and esteem, wealth and self-value, wealth and understanding who I am and all of this thing that's called creation. You understand, you all? Do not despise your journey. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't despise your journey. You activate the power of positive thinking and think positively about the one who's able to bring you through. Activate the power of positive thinking and think positively about the one who is able to get you through. I know we only got 1,800 seconds and I got to get to the lesson for October the 9th, but I hope this is helping somebody tonight. I really do. October 9th says, take the breaks that life allows, but learn to step away without disconnecting. Take the breaks that life allows, but learn to step away without disconnecting. It is quite possible and probable that we all need to step away from family, friends, church, or work from time to time. People get away and go on vacation all the time. That doesn't mean that they are any less committed to a cause just because they stepped away. Step away, but don't stay away. I love these comments. Yes, he uses broken and scarred up things for his glory. He really does, you all. He absolutely does. You all have often heard me talk about self-appreciation, self-value, and self-worth. This message, this one, reminds me the importance of self-care and self-maintenance. It really does. The same way that you would take care of anything else or anybody else that is assigned to you, you learn to use the same methodology and take care of yourself. And you will never stop to take care of yourself until you learn how to prioritize yourself. Learn how to prioritize yourself and understand that you are important. Because when you learn, yes, step away, but don't stay away. Yes, and when you learn to prioritize yourself, you will talk to yourself, talk with yourself, and you'll listen to yourself. You will listen to your physical self, your mental self, your emotional self, your spiritual self, your psychological self, and you learn to give yourself the things that you need to survive and thrive. Even if the thing that you need is a temporary break and respite from the things that you do and the people that you do, everybody needs time to step away. You have to take time to step away. You have got to absolutely, you all are talking tonight. That's right. If you don't value your time, nobody else will. Nobody else will, you all. So learn to take breaks. Learn again to just stop. Understand that you are important enough to stop for you. Sometimes you've just got to stop for you and do some self-maintenance. And don't let people play tricks on your mind. Just because you distance yourself from something or somebody, that does not mean that you're disconnected. It does not. Distance does not equal disconnect. Distance does not equal disconnect. because I am a significant distance from many of you tonight. But that does not mean I'm disconnected. It doesn't mean I'm disconnected. As a matter of fact, I attended a conference, and one of the planners or presenters said this, so this is not an original thought from me, so I can't take credit for it. But I wish in this whole notion, I agree, I wish in this whole notion of this pandemic that rather than calling this social distance, it would have just been called that we are physically distancing ourselves, because many of us are socially connected. We pick up the phone, we text, we do all these social, we use social media to connect. So rather than saying that we are socially distancing, we really are just physically distancing. But to say that we are distanced does not mean that we are disconnected. It doesn't. You all, in I know I've only had 1,800 seconds, but let me say this, you all. In this life, in this life, we need breaks. We need many breaks. We need breaks from things, from people, and sometimes from ourselves. And just because you take a break and you step away, that does not mean that you're going to stay away. And if there are people who do stay away, you just learn to accept maybe it's God's way for them to stay away. Listen, you all, this has been 1,800 seconds. We have been here chit-chatting tonight. We've been very transparent. And I'm telling you all, I want us to understand. I want us to understand that life happens. And in life, sometimes residue. But don't you let anybody's residue hold you down. And when life takes you through the situations where it scrapes the residue off, learn how to appreciate the process. I want to leave you with another poem that I wrote. This one is called Residue, and it can be found in one of my books, second one, I believe. Yes, this is the second one, Who We Once Were. And the title of this poem is Residue. It says, cleansed and purified, rinsed and sanctified, but there remains a residue. From the mud baths of the day before yesterday, the day I gave no thought to who I should be, would be, or could be. Scraped and scoured, polished and empowered, but there remains a residue of the adult who once played as a child who was growing all the while not knowing what was best for me. Planted and groomed, nurtured and pruned, but there remains a residue from the weeds of an unfertilized soil where sowing and reaping brought years of weeping for what I could not see. In the shower of my redemption, I stood, washing away all that I could. A new song I started to sing, but in the tub there remained a ring, a history of where I had been, the indicia of all of my sin. I wept, for all I could see was the residue. But now I see a lake called regretful. I see a sea called forgetful, where the residue is cast. At last, the shame has sunk, and my soul is drunk on a new wine, where this time the residue rises no more. You all, for the past 1,800 or so seconds tonight, you've been here on the Let's Talk the Color platform. We've been talking about how to become better along this thing that we call life. And until we see each other, I want you all to have a fantastic weekend. I want you to learn to value you, treasure you, and do what you need to do to better and improve you. Let's continue building community, maintaining connectivity. Keep your heads up, your hopes up. Stay safe and stay sane. And be motivated to become better. Take care until next Tuesday. You all have a fantastic weekend.